Hello everyone. After much speculation, I now present my full review of Pokémon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. This all CGI remake of the first Pokemon movie has been a long time coming, not getting a chance to talk about it, so let's open it up. For the sake of argument, I'm focusing mainly on the dub movie, but I will be addressing differences from the original movie when I see them, so let's get this started. We open on Dr. Fuji, voiced by Eddie Lee, during his expedition to find the DNA of Mew. I must say, this etching of Mew in ancient times much fancier than the original movie. In the lab on New Island, Mewtwo awakens. On top of the lab, trading the retro's 90s future aesthetic for invoking everything inside part of the future, for the holographic panels. It's amazing how something as simple as a fluid Mewtwo's tube was rendered. As you'll see, the fluid dynamics of this movie are fantastic. Mewtwo, voiced by Dan Green, he reprised his role, doesn't take kindly to what Dr. Fuji's plan, and while there are some new scenes, moves very faithful to Takeshi's original screenplay. Mewtwo destroys a laboratory, which attracts attention to Giovanni, voiced by Ted Lewis, which drew Mewtwo's power. He helps Mewtwo focus its power, and I must say, I really like the redesigned version of Mewtwo's armor. Definitely gives me an Iron Man vibe during the suit-up sequence. Of course, they still don't show more Gary besides the back of his head. Still like this joke that Rice made about his agent making too many demands for him to be in there, so not a stretch for him. After Giovanni reveals his true feelings about Mewtwo, to say Mewtwo is less than pleased will be putting it mildly. Another change shows on top of trying to restrain Mewtwo, Giovanni also actually tries to battle Mewtwo before his lair is destroyed. Mewtwo flies from the wreckage, casting out its arm and declaring the intent to strike back at those who oppose Mewtwo. Though the dub script has some artifacts in the first movie's dub in 1999, this is actually more faithful to the original Japanese script. Then we introduced Ash with Professor Natochenny, Brock voiced by Bill Rogers, and Misty voiced by Michelle Knotts. This new scene of them running up the hill to their picnic spot actually makes more sense in the original movie as to why Ash is tired and hungry. As Brock prepares lunch, Ash is accosted by Raymond, when this version is more clearly Jamaican and a potential future Team Aqua antagonist in appearance. The movie's take on the opening battle between them is just fantastic. While I admit the visual style is immensely like a video game cutscene to me, like characters reminded me of some of the action figures used to have, the way they've done it is actually pretty neat. Not just only with Super Smash Brothers, the human characters kind of on the avatars Ready Player One. One difference from the original movie is that Raymond's Golem has been swapped out with a Drowsy, correcting a type balance error in the original, as Golem's part ground type, meaning it should have been damaged by Ash's Pikachu. I almost expected Raymond to attack first, so Ash doesn't look like a psycho. The battle is also such a new mix of movies or Pokemon theme that I'd very much like to see released on its own soon. As Ash wins the battle with one big Thunderbolt from Pikachu, Afira watching overhead, record the whole thing. It looks like Mewtwo has upgraded the monsters later some new HDR 4K setup. Dragonite is then dispatched to the scene as Team Rocket watches from the hills nearby. The gag up of the skill also makes more sense in the original movie. It just has it beside her rather than pulling out the hammer space. Dragon descends upon our heroes, knocking over their picnic area in order to get them an invitation to New Island. And Brock is once again making Amber's face a familiar young woman. I'm also glad they were able to put some modern flaws in the classic outfits, not making them look too different. Still think they're holding out to be more at home in Jack on Radio than Pokemon. The storm breaks out as Mewtwo sets obstacles for the trains to New Island. I'm very impressed how real the ocean rainstorm look at the wharf. Sometimes something as simple like our heroes' outfits being damp. This is our first CGI come in the last quarter century alone. Kind of like comparing Sid's dog in the first Toy Story, Scud, to the CGI cat in the most recent film. I also like how Ash takes Pikachu shaking himself dry like a dog in stride compared to the original movie. On top of Officer Jenny and Miranda telling Agent Legend that ties in the movie, they report that Nurse Joy has gone missing and they've halted all the ferries due to the storm. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Defying these orders, several trainers set off in the storm to New Island, including Corey, Nisha, and Fergus, the last of whom was a bit more muscular than he was in the original movie. They also have their original voice actors to reprise their roles. Now everyone else seems away to the island. Now comes one of the more notable changes. Rather than a Viking gondola, we have a Lapis pedal boat, which is real by the way, and Team Rocket doing a song and dance while disguised as sailors. Folks, I believe his friends now has its own Jedi Rocks moment. Taking the Torps to New Island, even tapping the turbo boost on the boat, I'm just glad they gave them life vests in this version. They can't let the ocean get them before they do, can they? The boat dips underwater. In this version, we actually see Jesse, James Meath get their disguise washed away, which makes more sense of how it happened in the original with the Viking outfits. The boat sinks, but everyone's able to make their way to an island that backs their water Pokemon. Presented the invitation to the maiden. Ash, Rock, and Misty head inside the castle, with Team Rock once again popping up from the water on Weezing's back. I must say, though it took a bit to get used to the human designs, the uncanny valley effect basically went away after the first 15 minutes for me. This movie nailed the Pokemon designs. It's not quite the hyper-realism set to Pikachu movie, but it works in a different way. The flames of Charizard's tail, the detailing of Squirtle's shell, textures of Pidgeot's feathers and Pikachu's fur. It's little touches like that I appreciate. On that note, the way they reimagined Team Rocket train the castle has one stall change to answer questions that's been asked for years, if not decades. She looks over her shoulder as if to hear Mew, which subtly canonizes the fate of her mother. That mission she went missing was dead on was about finding Mew. One new scene at the dinner table is Brock hitting on Nisha. Not really the time, Brock, read the room. They also fixed the error about mislabeling Corey's Pidgeot as a Pidgeotto. Even when I was a kid, I knew it done goofed. Elsewhere, Brock was trying to slip in through the lower levels of the castle. Just love how this movie has subtly made me out more cat-like expressions as Mew watches closely behind. Right on cue, Mew descends on everyone from the dining hall, speaking telepathically through the maiden at his side. Mewtwo hurls Fergus into the fountain in a show of force that he objects to being the strongest trainer. Fergus sends out Gyarados after Mewtwo, but Mewtwo reflects a Hyperion back at Gyarados. Mewtwo then releases the maiden from his grasp, and her hat falls off to reveal its missing Nurse Joy. When Mewtwo reveals the reason why he brought her here, Misty is livid, as is Ash. Back with Team Rocket, they find the lab and Jessie activates the cloning machine when she leans on one of the panels. As Dr. Fuji's final video diary plays explaining the situation to Jessie and James, the three strands of fur from Meowth's tail are plucked, cloning Meowth in the process. One side note, I do like how Mew was just chilling above everyone and that Mewtwo kept the holographic panels when wielding the lab on New Island. When Pikachu objects to Mewtwo's plan, Mewtwo flings him back into Ash's arms. Though it's not a total shot-for-shot remix men are expecting, I am glad they kept the scene. Ash's design is really not that different, it's just his original outfit with the bag of running shoes from his extra shoe design. Ash is outraged and Koi sends Rhyhorn after Mewtwo, who hurls Rhyhorn back across the dinner table. Mewtwo proclaims to be the strongest Pokemon, and Ash challenges him to prove it. Mewtwo summons the clones from the lab, and their emerging from the stasis pods looks great in CG. First is Blastoise, next up is Venusaur. I just really love the way that giant flower on its back blooms as it emerges from stasis. Last but not least is Charizard. I just love how Salitre scales rendered. Not quite as realistic as a Detective Pikachu movie, but impressive. I also love the redesigned ballerina in the movie. The original was impressive, but the glow up to this new movie's visuals is stunning. Corey and Nisha fight alongside their Venusaur named Brute Root, and Blastoise named Shushocker, and Ash sends out his Charizard. He also tries to attack Mewtwo, who just casually blocks the flames with the water. I really like the effect of the cinders and steam in this part. One by one, despite a valiant effort by the heroes, the clones went over the original counterparts. Even why, with my familiarity with the original movie, the way this battle has been imagined is spectacular. Capturing them Pokeballs was his own design. Mewtwo begins capturing the others in order to eliminate all non-clone life in the world. Insert Thanos comparison here. The ensuing action scene expands on what the original movie did, and this time, the spiral staircase actually has stairs as Ash and Pikachu run up it. Especially like the fluid effects as Pikachu's capturing Ash dives in the pool after him. The way he treats his hat while Indiana Jones was for Solo 2. Swimming up from the pool, Ash slides down the chute, which is conveniently wide enough to fit a 10-year-old boy. What's honestly with a super happy fun slide. They also fixed a gap about Team Rocket confused Alakazam with Scyther and Meow confusing Sandra and Sandslash. There was still some artifacts and some lines from 1999. The script's much favorite Japanese movie. At the 1 hour mark, Ash dives in clothing machine as Team Rocket looks on, especially like the red lighting as he tries to wrest his friend from the machine's claws. You don't have to play that game tonight. Make new quests for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. Mewtwo, you don't have to put on the red light. Sorry, I couldn't resist. After a minute of kicking and biting, Ash frees Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charizard, and Squirtle, and all the other captives. He's delighted to be reunited with his friends and realizes that Mewtwo must be stopped. Back above ground, Mewtwo offers a human chance to leave as storm begins to take hold. They all refuse, an explosion occurs. The original Pokemon are freed, and Ash, having learned sickening truth, decides to confront Mewtwo. Mewtwo flings Ash in the sky, but he's caught by a bubble blown by Mew. His hat also falls off when Mewtwo pops out a bubble. I like the way Mewtwo plays to him as he gets it back and pull from beneath him. Mew is just as much a mischievous kitten as ever. I love it. Mew then starts bouncing on another bubble before Mewtwo hurls a Shadow Ball at Mew. Not only is this now a canon move in the games, Mewtwo can indeed learn it. And it's Mewtwo and Mew then battle with the stadium. I really like how this movie's adapted the sequence. The lighting and camera angles really make great use of the medium, and it shows how far CGI has come in the last quarter century alone. Now, the movie reaches its finale, and all the Pokemon and the clones fight to the end, face to face, eye to eye. The whole battle is done in one continuous shot. Pokemon later text being used to hide cuts and transitions, lasting nearly 3-4 minutes. I timed it. No more Can't Be Brother My Brother song either. Even with my familiarity with the original movie, this past point of the original's runtime, still a similar effect of putting a darker spin on the admittedly strange premise, kind of like the 1986 Transformers movie, the first two 1990s TMNT movies. Yeah. The other Pokemon also have strength, as Mew prepares one final clash from Mewtwo. Ash runs into the blast, turning him to stone, and lo, the children did weep. The hollow stone is even darker than the original movie, and somehow it's even sadder when Peter tries to revive the lifeless body of his friend, to no avail. Moved by Ash's sacrifice, Pokemon let Pikachu cry for their fallen hero, bringing it into the storm. He's back, and it is prime to this. Dynamax energy, laddie. Hey, Mewtwo has been convinced of the value of human life, taking the clones' refuge away from the island, turning everyone now it's home and wiping the memories of what happened. Shore is also found safe. I must say her design is too much actually one of my favorite versions of the character. Ash, Brock, and Misty briefly reflect on their journey. I forgot to mention this earlier. This movie actually takes place chronologically after the Cancer Gym Challenge, which was clear in the original movie made it. The storm clears, closing the heroes vowing to continue their journey. The credits scene sequence has some beautiful stills about the animators, and some points with art contest depending on which version you're watching. There's even a brief stinger showing Mewtwo and the clone taking refuge and setting Mewtwo returns. If I ever wanted to remake that film like this, I'm open to the idea. So, that's Pokemon Mewtwo Survival Evolution, and yes, it's definitely a better evolution than Dragon Ball Evolution was. As the first all-CGI movie in the franchise, it's definitely clear to hurdle much easier than other franchises have. As a reimagining of the first movie, it's a solid update to a film I already enjoy. It's less of a shot-for-shot remake, and more so like in the vein of A New Hope and The Force Awakens with Star Wars, with a similar story and structure and just enough to have the new movie stand its own. In fact, if I was asked what I'd want on a full CGI version of the series, this is close to what I had in mind. As to why to put it on my ranking of them all, I'd put it on the same level as the original film in terms of quality. Considered to be a good movie and one of the better video game adaptations in general, I think a lot between this, the Pikachu movie, and the Sonic movie, things starting to get better. Might not be on the same level as the last couple movies they did, but definitely worth watching. My final rating 3 out of 4. I have no objections to future content debuting on streaming in lieu of theaters on TV. I will most likely tell you all what I think about this year's movie after the notable English dub. later.